from afar, people might think that having children might change your goals. And maybe even personally, we think that, oh, because I became a mom, I had to put these things on the side. But no, it's not that we put them on the side. It's just that taking care of it together with your goals, and it might be too much to juggle. So you'll have to prioritize and do one before another.
At some point, the kids leave the house, right? They leave the house, and then you are left with yourself, and then you keep thinking, did I fulfill my dream?
Yeah.
Because your kids are your number one priority, which is great. However, at the end of the day, are you fulfilled within?
It
So I feel
drives
like
you.
wherever, it really doesn't matter wherever I'm gonna be at, I better be happy. Hi guys, welcome to another episode. We are back again.
Yes.
We're gonna start by
Yes.
introducing ourselves. My name is Kay,
I'm Sandra.
And I'm Quasi.
And I'm Ashley.
and on this week's episode, we are gonna be focusing on motherhood, in relation to career and anything motherhood, pretty much.
Okay.
So, ladies, let's get the ball rolling.
What did you want to be when you were little?
Well, it first started as a pediatrician, then a fashion designer, then along the way, business.
So that's what you wanted to do, but then do you see yourself as, have you attained that goal, or did it change, and was it because of motherhood?
It really wasn't motherhood. It was more of my parents' influence
Okay.
that changed the trajectory in which I wanted to run my career. My dad's a business owner, and my mom, she's an accountant. I initially didn't want to do accounting, but it ended up evolving into accounting. I originally I got my degree in business administration and management concentration. So that's where I wanted to go at first. But eventually, accounting just fell in my lap.
Okay.
Yeah, I think for me it does. Motherhood did kind of change the path of my career. Growing up, I wanted to be a pilot. I wanted to. This was long before I knew of anyone who had even been on an airplane, but I knew I wanted to drive airplanes, and so my love for aviation grew up until the end of high school. I was still going in that path of aviation, but first it changed because of my studies. I had to be, I wasn't getting the A's in science. So then I changed and I was like, okay, then leading out of high school, I went into aviation and I was going to do air traffic controlling. And I thought that was perfect for me because I'm very calm under stressful, environments and stuff like that. But I didn't really. I think then I came to this country right after high school, and I came here and everyone was heavily into healthcare. Okay. Everyone was either CNA or GNA or some type of LPN, and it was at that time the easiest path to go into as an African or as an immigrant. So I found myself being influenced by family members to go into healthcare. And then I went and I did a medical assistant, and I did the whole medical assistant path. But then I got pregnant right after graduation, and then it changed. It changed from there on because I had to take a pause so that I can take care of the baby, and then it completely changed. And I haven't been back to aviation since then. I wouldn't blame it on motherhood. I think the one thing about being here is that your priorities change as a mother.
So you mean migrating here, right?
Migrating
Okay.
to the United
Migrate,
States,
okay.
it changed the priorities. First, it was I'm getting here. I got here as an exchange student, and then I was like, oh, okay, I might look for an aviation school. The aviation school said the requirements you need to be a permanent resident. Now I have to find a lawyer, and the lawyer is asking for money. I have to find a job that can pay the lawyer. So it's like deviation. So I
Definitely.
wouldn't blame motherhood on the changes in the deviation of my career. I would just say that I got redirected.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say.
Okay.
What about you, Sandra?
Yeah, I think
You
you make
too?
a good point. I think for us as immigrants, that plays a huge role. You know, because you have your so growing up, I think every child, every girl in Ghana at that time, everybody wanted to be an air hostess. I don't know if you ever
Really?
thought about that, but I wanted to be an air hostess, and then at some point, and then what did I? But then one thing I can remember is when I was, I think for career wise, I didn't really think about. I just wanted a good job, but I think what I always wanted to do was like get more education.
Yeah.
So when I was in high school,
was more
I
important.
knew that I wanted to go to college. And then when I was in college, I knew that I wanted to get my graduate degree. I remember when I came here and I met Danny, I was like, the lowest I'm willing to do is a graduate degree. And and the lowest I want my husband to have is a master's. Like, so are you willing to do that, right? So in my mind, I always wanted to get like this higher education.
Yeah.
But as far as, and then I was so specific, right? I wanted to do like study political science. So when I went to,
That's interesting because you have like a love for politics right now.
I do.
And I
I
don't
do.
know if we've ever had that conversation, but I
I
always
probably- yeah.
noticed
And you
it.
I
love
always-
nonfiction books.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
fiction books as well.
So it's like,
So I did. So when I went to the University of Ghana, right, I got admission, which was great. However, I didn't get to study political science, and that was like a big deal for me back then. I remember people telling me, you can always, if you're getting your, you can for the undergrad, you can do whatever course you want, and then for your graduate. But the little me, like the poor little me, thinking, oh, I have to study. So when I migrated to the U.S., I still even like I feel like I've been in school forever. I still went through like even though I feel like I did like a whole degree again, right? Just to get political science. But
Just to get back to it.
yeah, and then I got my master's in political science, but I don't know. And then motherhood. So it's like migrating to the US, it changes your plans.
Yeah,
Just like you said.
yeah.
I also had to get my, work on my documents and then like make sure I'm okay. And then as you're doing that, you have to get a job that actually pays you. So it's like I think it's more of being an immigrant than being a mother. But then when you become a mother, so by the time you're done working on your way to getting your green
I
card,
love where this is going.
then you're married.
Yep.
And then it's time to make a family. And then it's like, and I always said I wanted like to use the 5 years to build my family. And I did that. And it's like, by the time you're done, like, oh gosh, like where am I, right? But thankfully, I was able to get my graduate degree after I had my kids, right? Which is like later in life.
I want us to come back to that because I think that's where I think it would be really inspiring to talk about that.
Talk about that, yeah. But I mean, it's challenging, but that's where, I got to. Like, it's like, the routes that it takes you, to get there. But I mean, yeah, I am here, but.
What about you guys? Yeah?
Growing up, my first passion was air hostess. And then I slowly grew out of that, and then I wanted to do more business.
Okay.
And then eventually I moved here. So when I went to college in Ghana, my focus was actually in business and then some economics.
Okay.
But then when I moved here, going back to what you said about, the healthcare being like the main thing here, a family member, specifically my dad, talked me into doing this nursing program. So which, by the way, probably one of the best decisions that I've ever, but one thing that I never regretted, is to, go into nursing school and then getting that degree. But I don't think motherhood really affected me that much. Because when I was going for my master's program, I was still pregnant. So it really didn't stop me.
You're like, boom, boom, boom.
She was going.
When
She
I
did
had
it all.
fun fact, when I had my last child in the hospital, I was having my finals that day.
Oh my God.
Yes. So Godfred my husband was by the bedside with the baby, and I was going through my finals. So it really didn't affect me much, really.
You were still
But,
pushing through.
yeah, but
I love that.
once I got into nursing, I wanted more. Like I wanted to be a doctor, which I never got to do. But I don't think it's too late. But
It's
maybe
not.
It
it is.
isn't. It isn't.
Oh no, it's not.
It isn't.
But for me, motherhood really hasn't really affected me much. The only thing it's really affected in some way, shape, or form is like the jobs that I have to keep because of their schedule.
Yes.
Like I can't keep a 9 to 5. I'm like, how do
Yeah.
people do it Monday through Friday? I can do that. Like I have to drop the kids off to school, pick them up, feed them.
Yeah.
9 to 5, never. Not
So
me.
that's
So
crazy
I
that we
think
got
for
to.
her too, right? She didn't have to go through the struggle that you and I went through because when she came here, she already had.
She already had her degree.
Yeah. No, not a degree. Her
Oh, the
document.
document.
Her documents,
Her document. So
right.
she didn't have to go through because that's like you spend
That's
extra
the
years.
deviation.
Yeah, it is a
Yeah.
deviation. Extra years, and then of course Ashley didn't have. Yeah.
You were born into it, Ashley.
Yeah,
But
eldest
think-
child.
That's crazy that we got to that conclusion that quickly. That
Yeah.
from afar, people might think that having children might change your goals, and maybe even personally, we think that because I became a mom, I had to put these things on the side. But no, it's not that we put them on the side. It's just that taking care of it together with your goals and it might be too much to juggle. So you'll have to prioritize and do one before another, Yeah.
But don't you think that's where it's because like for what Kezia said, because of her kids, like certain jobs she can't or like schedules,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's like you have to at the end of the day you still have to make some sacrifices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the end of the day. So it's not in I guess my motherhood really didn't affect my pursuit for my, whatever I want to be.
Yeah.
But then,
okay.
I don't know, like just keeping the job part, like the 9 to 5 thing, 8 to 4, 5 times a week.
But don't you
know how
think
people
that's
do it.
because you're used to your nursing schedule?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's what it
Yes.
is. Because she's
the
used
nurse's
to.
schedule is very
It's
like
different. Like she's used to going to work maybe
Very
3 days and then getting
spontaneous.
getting off.
Right.
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Yeah,
You
maybe
got
if I was in the
accustomed to
corporate
it.
world, it would be like
Yeah.
a different story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah. Monday through Friday.
Yeah, Monday through Friday.
Yeah. That's all you've known, right?
That's all I've known. Day one, Monday through Friday. Well, with the last job, it was weekends. Wasn't the best thing, but I will say that probably was I would say the first time that kind of that influence where I want my career to be because my kids were getting older. And I don't want to miss out on certain things, especially
Yeah.
like on the weekends,
Yes.
and not be able to just get off of work and take them to activities at school,
Yeah.
be able to pick them up on time. Because,
That's
I had
important.
to do a change.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm very happy for that change. It was very God given. I have a great team I work for, great company. And cool. Worked
And then
out.
you mentioned something which I can relate to. So you set a goal for yourself. Once you get there, you're like, this is not enough, right? Like
Right.
there's more to it. There's more I can do. But then I think where motherhood comes in is, let's say if I want to go for another degree right now, I'm thinking of my kids.
Yeah.
The time that I'm going to
Yeah.
miss, like
Exactly.
the weekends because I have to spend time, learning
Yeah.
as opposed to being with them and then catering for them. So I think that's where like sometimes you may want to you may weigh the situation and be like,
Yeah.
shall I go for this or shall I? Because the kids they grow up so fast,
They
right?
do.
I want to miss? Because apparently, obviously, you're going to miss
Some
a chunk,
milestones.
of their life, or spending time with them. But do I do this or that? I think that's where.
Yeah, and then then just before we started talking, we were just discussing like I personally was saying that you also don't want. I think as mothers, we love our children so much, and like we also don't see them as a detour. Like we don't see them that as like something that came between you and your goals. You know what I mean?
Like a deterrent.
Like it's not because that's what I wanted you. I wanted children. So we don't actually even see it as that. But one for me, I know for personally for me, like I was young. I really had my kids young. So for me, I did have to put it on pause. I did have to put my career on pause. And even though now I'm going for those goals that I had, but I did have to put them on pause. Not because like, oh, I don't know, it's like an obligation or something like that, but I wanted
And
to
this
have
is,
my
I think the
children.
situation called for that
The
too.
situation called for it, for me to, I could have done it all together, but I think I just really prioritized my children, and the first few years just being completely there for them and being completely available, my schedule being for them. And then now, and it's even motivating for me now to go for those degrees and to go for that career change and stuff like that, because I know that I have somebody like an example. Like I have to set an example for my children that you can
Yeah, that's
also
the
do
other
that.
thing too. Yeah, yeah, making
Yeah.
them know.
Like right now, I'm back in school, and like my kids are like, "Mom, really? You're in school right now?" Yeah, I'm in school right now. Like, and I feel like it sets them also like, okay, then this
If
is not
mommy did it,
like
I
high
can do it
school is
too.
not gonna be the last
Right.
where I start.
Yeah.
And anybody who knows me really knows that I've always wanted to have 4 kids, even before I got married.
Really?
I always wanted to have 4 kids, 2 boys, 2 girls. So, and that's exactly what I got.
Yeah.
So I feel like motherhood, I call it domestic career. It's
Yeah.
always been part of my career. I always say, even if I don't succeed at anything and I see my kids succeed, that's like the greatest, like I'll be so
Yeah.
happy. Because that I feel like is like a God-given career.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna, of course, I'm gonna put some stuff on the back burner just because I have to raise these kids. But it brings me so much joy.
Yes.
Like I don't see it as like you said, like as an obstacle to achieving anything. I feel like whatever I want to do, really, I can. I just have to, know how to prioritize and kind of like get around it, make sure I'm not missing the big milestones and just being there for them. But all I really want is, to wake up one day and know that they're very successful. And, I'm just at peace with that. You know, career. You get hired, you get fired, you keep
Yeah.
going back and
Yeah.
forth, really. Who really remembers
Yeah.
your contribution to the company?
No. Yeah.
So for me, yeah, I don't think motherhood has gotten in the way of anything. I've always wanted 4 kids, and I'm even privileged,
That you were able to
mother
have
these
them,
kids.
yeah.
So yeah, it's really
Do you feel like you always wanted to be a mother? Like, was that something that you thought about when you were a kid?
Yeah, I thought about being a mother. I'm like the oldest of three, and it's always been one of those things. I've always been fascinated with how my mom, she just runs the show. And you're like, man, I want to do that one day.
That means you
Cook,
did a good
bake.
job.
Oh man, I love cooking and baking and even having them join. But yeah, it's always been something that I've wanted to do, and I've never felt that it's an obstacle.
Yeah.
Really, because I did start having kids at 29, so it's, and then 10 years for having both. But yeah, it worked out.
and to add to what I just said, I feel like whatever career that your focus is on, whatever the highest degree on, even if you want to be a doctor, one day you're gonna have to retire. But think about motherhood. You never retire from motherhood. You'll be 100, and your kids will still come to you asking for advice if you still got your marbles in place. So I feel like that's like something that's gonna last forever. That's like my first career. Let me put it that way. And then everything else is secondary. But of course, I don't want to downplay the importance of getting a career that pays you for your bills. But
Yeah, but you're right. I think that's secondary.
it is secondary.
It is
I feel like
because
motherhood is like my first
Yeah,
career, and then
yeah.
that is just secondary.
because at the end of the day, just like you mentioned, you get a job today, and then the next day, you're fired.
You're fired.
So, but then these kids stay with you, they grow with you, and then it's like when you look at your kids when they were younger, you're like, oh, it's like when I see Frida, I see me in her. I see me when I was a younger mother, right? I see how we have grown together. She's 13, but it's technically like me, being 13.
Your
Like it's like I'm also 13 because I've been a mother for 13 years, and then I kind of you have all these memories. But yeah, jobs come and go. But at the end of the day, you have to feel fulfilled. You know, like in your career, yeah, like you have to make sure that you're fulfilled. I guess that's where it gets a little tricky. Like, how do I balance family? How do I balance taking care of my kids versus feeling fulfilled? Because at some point, the kids leave the house, right? They leave the house, and then you are left with yourself, and then you
Yeah.
keep thinking, did I fulfill my dream?
Yeah.
You know, because your kids are your number one priority, which is great. However, at the end of the day, are you fulfilled within? See, that's my thing that I keep going back to. You know, like, am I fulfilled? Am I where I need to be? Is there more for me to do? Right. So it's like, how do you balance the two?
So do ladies feel like there is a roadmap? Like if your daughter came to you now and like asked you what like would you advise them to go for the career first or go for motherhood
I
first?
would say, honestly, I would say from my own experience, right? I would say it's better to, like, if you're like the type that wants to go to school forever, right? Get the degrees, you know, when you have the chance, because they have the chance that, like, especially you and I, we did not have, right? We came here, we had to struggle. We spent like maybe between 5 to 10 years
Yeah.
working on that, but they don't have to do that. They don't have that delay. So
Yeah.
get all the degrees that you want to get and then start a family. And I think
Yeah.
there's some people too who did that. They had the opportunity, you know, they didn't have to struggle, you know, for anything. They just went through where the education, got married. I think that is easy. That's the easiest route. I think that's the easiest route, because when you're combining motherhood with schooling, because I remember when I was doing my graduate studies, I drove all the way to DC like after work. Because you have to work. When you become a grown up, you still have
Have to
bills.
work and
You
you
have
have
to
to go to
work. You
school
have to go to
and then
school
come
and
back
then come
home
back and
to
take
a
care of the
child.
kids. So if you have it, I would tell them, just get all those degrees that you want to get, whatever you want to do, if you have the chance before you start your family. At
What
least from
about you, Kezia? You
I'll say get the foundation first. You know, one thing I was talking about this to my friend the other day. One thing that is very common with the African community is that we don't want our kids, you know, like dating or getting involved with the opposite sex earlier on. And then when they grow up to be like 30, 31, we're asking, aren't you going to get married? But the thing is, they haven't even dated. Like, who they're going to get married to?
it's true. It's
So I would
true.
say, I mean, if you could juggle both, that's fine, but get the basics straight. You know, at least get your bachelor's in something. If you want to be a doctor, at least get your, you know, be a doctor. Do whatever you want to do. But
at least
please,
be
before
in
you hit
medical
30,
school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, but some people go after though.
like after 30 years,
But
Yeah.
it's hard.
I'll say before you hit 30, get married. 'Cause at least something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, life is hard, and I feel like if you have a
But
partner,
it's
it's going to be a little
doable.
easier.
But it's honestly doable. Like if you think about it, between the time they leave high school and 30, like,
Right.
that's a lot of time to get multiple degrees. And I love to see it. I love to
love
see
to
it
see it too.
nowadays. Like what Sandra, I think it's honestly because we didn't get that opportunity. I couldn't. There was no way for me, even though that was number one, literally. The sad thing is, I still have the application form to that aviation school.
So why didn't you go back after you got your documents?
Uh, because by that time I was already into my corporate job, and then I was already consumed, and then family as well.
And then some things,
and then
sometimes you probably have to, you probably like have to
I would
do
have
it
to
full
enroll
time.
full time. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's in Baltimore. Even recently, because it's always been like, I think it's something that's always still
Keep going back.
nudging at me that's your goal. Like goals that you set for yourself as a kid, they stick with you. They stay with you, and But yeah, I still have
But
that.
what's
as
How
stopping
many
you now?
years? How many years is? Yeah, that's where.
What's that?
What's stopping you now?
So recently I was like, I registered. Well, they had a registration open, and it was the last day, and I spoke to my husband, and he was like, Baltimore, that's a whole hour away, and I just got discouraged. I was like, yeah,
That's another thing too. So when you get married and it like
they have
that's
to
another
discuss
challenge.
everything.
You have to
Right.
discuss it.
And it didn't look feasible. It's not that I blame your husband, but but it just honestly it wasn't feasible. Like
But you
I
get-
would
okay.
literally have to.
So you go to work and then after work what was the
no,
plan?
it's
Is
a
it-
full. It's
It's a full day
It's a
class.
full day
yeah,
class.
maybe that's
That's
right,
also.
So it's like you can't work.
You can't work. You'd
How
have
long
to.
is it?
I can't remember, but I think it's like
2 years.
it's a 2 years. It's like it's a training or aviation school, like air traffic controlling. I can't remember how long, but yeah, it's a full time. But I know, like just like you said, you being a doctor, that still do like anybody that knows me knows that I've always wanted to be in aviation.
Yeah, I think you've mentioned it to me
Yeah,
before.
so
But-
it's still possible, though. Maybe one day.
Yeah. I guess you don't have part time.
Look at it, you discussing.
No, I'm like thinking of ways that you can.
Like, let's fulfill this goal.
I know she want to see you so happy.
Yeah, I know
But
that
yeah.
will bring me so much happiness.
You don't have part time option.
They do, but we can discuss this over.
Okay. Because I think what happens, right? Most of these, most schools are like now more lenient than they were in the past because they know like we have busy
Working,
schedules, especially
yeah.
for working moms. You know, like this.
Yeah, no, there were some programs in there that had like option of hybrid, and you go into the some of the classes, but that particular one was full time.
Okay.
Was full time in campus. So God will make God will make a way, and there will be a time when my schedule is available that
Sometimes
I
you
can
have
do
to
it.
convince them, man.
Yeah, maybe that's what I need
But
to
yeah,
do.
sometimes you just have to
Yeah.
convince them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, doctor? You'll go back to it, right?
Yeah, I've thought about it. I've thought about it, but am I really gonna go back? I always say this. I probably said in the last episode too. Sometimes you just have to put aside your dreams so your kids can have one. I mean, I'll probably leave it through one of my kids. I don't know. We'll
I kind
see.
of disagree
But
with
do I
that,
really want to
though.
go back?
She does.
And,
She does.
and
I know you do.
How do you know I do?
Because I know you all about like self like
Fulfillment.
self fulfillment, and like
Excuse me.
feeling good about yourself. And I know
No,
that
because
you
I
love
feel
it.
like once the kids leave, right, at the end of the day, when you're assessing your life, like, have I done it all? Have I put in my best, right? I love the fact that, because to me, if I am going, like, you need to do better than me, right?
yes,
So,
my daughter. So
yeah,
I can,
So if I
can
do it,
ask you to
it's
do
a
what
way
I
to
do.
tell you that if I did it, I'm expecting more, and I know that you're going to do more. But for me, how do I feel at the end of the day? Do I feel fulfilled? Because I don't know. I kind of feel like
It's a self thing. It's not
right.
You can't,
because they'll
you
leave. The
can't.
kids leave the house.
yeah, I always tell my kids, one luxury that I didn't have, and it's not a bad thing. I just didn't have that support system, going through college. Because I had to rent my own place, pay my own bills, go to college in nursing school. And that's tough. You can't keep a full-time job.
Right.
But then for me, I'm like, you guys have us at least. I mean,
Right.
you could probably live here for free while you go through college. You don't have to worry about the bills. You could take a student loan or two and kind of like just navigate through it. So you have that support system.
Yeah.
That is a luxury that I never had. So, make good use of it.
Right.
And that's why I
all I
say I love seeing it. I love seeing other people's kids that are going into college and doing, like one of my one lady that I know, she used to watch my kids. Her daughter has gone on to do phenomenally well. Like has gone into university. Now she's on her second degree, and just like a very clear career path. We can have that.
No, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like do this and then do that and then come back and then do this and then
What about you, Ashley? What are your thoughts? So, what are your thoughts? Do you think that we should live through our kids? Like, if you can forego certain dreams, so your kids, like, what are your thoughts?
I think I'd like to instill more so in my kids that, hey, school is your job. Focus on school because that's your foundation. Just like Casey said, it's your foundation for life. It really is. Because if you don't have prioritization, time management in order, everything else is not going to fall into place. Like even if you want to be a mother, it's like, or a father, it's your foundation for everything else. And as you progress in life with your education, then it makes it easier once you have established what you need to do and in what order you need to do it. But of course, there's always something that will
Sidetrack.
sidetrack you from it. But at least when you have that foundation, you know how to get back on track.
Right.
Yeah.
But would you give up your dreams for your kids?
I would find a way to not give up the dream with my kids. But I feel like really honestly, I didn't really have that
Unreachable goals.
unreachable. I think throughout my life, I just looked at practicality.
Yeah. Yeah, you are
I'm
very
like-
practical.
Like,
Yeah,
well,
you won't even like love something.
I'm not really
that's
good in
unreachable.
science. Exactly. So
Ashley's
that's when
not
the
gonna-
pediatrician went out the window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's not gonna love something
then-
that she can't do.
And then I just love retail. So that's how the buying and the fashion design went into it. Because I did retail for over a decade and I loved it. But then the lifestyle was just not working. And then from there,
You got a husband from
corporate
there.
world.
But you got a husband from
Yeah.
there.
And I got a husband out of it. So it worked out. Yeah.
Going back to the self-fulfillment aspect, right? Yeah.
Say it.
You said see it. What are you thinking?
I don't know. I don't.
I feel like wherever I'm gonna be at when my kids get out of the house, I'm gonna be self-fulfilled.
You
You know
feel,
what I mean?
yeah.
I feel like
Yeah, I think everyone is different.
yeah. I'm very like I don't know, laid back, easygoing, whatever will be is what I say. You know what I'm saying? Like so.
love that.
Yeah.
And I always
I
try
don't
to
think I'm
find
ever
a
gonna have
passion
regrets.
doing something.
Passion for doing stuff.
Yeah, like new things. So it just
think
kind of
that's-
keethink it interesting. So
Yeah,
like, you know,
I think
when
that's
you leave,
what-
you're like, oh, I can go and do this.
Yeah.
That's what pulls you away
Yeah.
from. That's what keeps nudging at you. Like the passions that you have that just only require you. Like those, I think, are the ones that Sandra was talking about. That are just hard to forget.
See, that's where the fulfillment comes in.
Yeah.
Would you call yourself successful? For me personally, right? I feel like if I have a goal in mind, I don't know. That's personally. I feel like I need to fulfill that goal
Yeah.
in order for me to call myself successful. That being said,
Unless you
I will
don't
still
have
push
it.
my kids. You know, like I'll push them to go higher heights, right? But at the end of the day, I don't know.
Yeah, I think I resonate with what Ashley said when she was saying that
She's practical.
she like, Ashley.
I think it's an eldest daughter thing, practical.
Well,
It could
oh,
be,
was it you?
It could
Was it
be a
you?
disadvantage.
But I thought that
Sometimes.
the eldest kids, like, we're the go-getters.
It's like
we are the
I
pushers.
just need to. I know I need to be good in school. I know I need to like. Okay, let's find a real job. X number of times straight out of school. Let me find a real job. Let me also, get married, have kids. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's one of those oldest child things.
For me, it hits differently,
And then
though.
I just think practicality.
Yeah.
No, sorry, I remember. It was Ashley said that she wouldn't like you wouldn't feel you would find a way to do it together.
Yeah.
If it was such a like if it was a dream like the one I have about aviation that was always nudging at me, I have to find a way to do it together with that will make me successful. But I can't imagine choosing or just seeing my children succeed and remembering that dream and not
And feeling
not-
successful.
and feeling like and feeling successful. Yes, I'll feel successful that my children have grown up and have done well for themselves. But if I didn't get to that goal, I think I would not feel I will not feel that I'd been successful unless there was no goal in my mind. Like unless I was just like, oh, I'm fine. I can just do any job. But when you do have a goal in the back of your mind or in your heart, I think you'd never reach that like successfulness in your mind
Until you've
until
actually.
you've done it.
Yeah, I think it boils down to personality.
It is.
Because
I
think
see
so.
it.
For
I
me,
see it today.
I don't think I'm gonna get to a point in life where
Yeah, you're
I'm
changing
gonna
my
regret
mind.
anything.
Yeah,
I listen. My mom told me.
I love this.
Listen, I just go with the flow. Whatever is current is what I.
Oh,
I told
okay.
you before. When I was going to school earlier, my major was business. So anything, hey, business wise, listen.
Yeah.
I'm here, and time changes too, is what I think. So I'm never gonna get to the point where I say I regret not doing this. Example, not being a doctor, because I don't think so. I mean, I want to, but it's not gonna keep me up at night for sure.
Right. Okay.
I'm definitely gonna go to sleep knowing that I did what I could,
Yeah.
the best way I could have done it.
Yeah.
So that's just,
Okay, yeah, it is a personality
yeah.
thing. Because
It is.
I'm sitting
It is.
thinking,
It is.
like, if you and I were both like a 90s in bed, and we're having the same conversation. Like, did you ever become
when
a
you're
doctor?
90 years old, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, let's say you and I are both 90, and we're sitting and having the conversation. I'm like, Kaysa, did you end up being a doctor? And you're like, no, but I'm fine.
Yeah,
and I'm
that's how
like,
she's gonna
and
sound.
then
No,
I'm gonna be like, and then you're gonna be like, did you ever become an air traffic controller? And I'm like, no.
but this is what I'm gonna tell you though.
You see? So it is a personality thing.
I'm gonna definitely tell you, I didn't become a doctor, but I definitely spent lots of time with my kids.
Me too. I would have spent.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that's the most I'm gonna regret is not spending time with them. Honestly,
Yeah.
honestly, like I take so much pride in being a mother. It's not even funny. Like,
But we
I've
do
given up
spend time with
jobs.
them, though.
We do.
We do spend a lot of time with
Yeah.
them as mothers. Like, we're constantly there for them.
yeah, so for me,
But, yeah, it is a personality
yeah, it
thing.
is a personality.
It is because I feel like
um,
even though I'm a mother, like I love my kids
My
to death.
goal.
I want to be there for you, and I feel like when I was let's take when I was driving to DC, right? I did that, but I was still doing my duties as a mom, right?
Yeah.
So I think it boils down to personality.
Yeah.
you
but-
know what? Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was going to change topics. That's okay.
I was reading this book.
I was going to say a book that I was reading.
yeah.
I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it.
I forgot what the title is, but it was, talking about how you cannot, do two things perfectly at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you cannot be a good mother and be a good student. You're going to have to give. Something's going to have to give. Either you're going to lack in being a good mother and be, have all A's, or, flunk in school and then, be a good mother. So I don't, sometimes we feel like we're doing everything.
It's true, but I've seen it happen
I was going
too.
to say there are many
Like, there
successful
are
women
successful
who also
women
spend
with, like,
time
an
with their
A.
kids, and at the
Yes.
end of the day, it's like a win-win situation. I do understand where you're coming from, where you can be like it's like you can't
You
be
can't
perfect
be perfect
at all the
100%,
time,
yeah.
right?
Yes.
But however, there are some mothers who didn't even spend a lot of time with their kids, yet they didn't do
They didn't
well
do
in their
careers.
career. So it's like
So you talk about very successful mothers, right? And you're talking about, they spend good time with their kids. But then you do forget that they're getting the nannies, to babysit their kids. They're getting the drivers to drive their kids off to school and pick them up and all that.
the question becomes, how did the kids turn up? I mean, if the kids turn up okay, then that's good, right? Because I feel like it's like even in Ghana, growing up, there were some well-to-do families that had maids helping out. Does that mean they didn't spend time with their kids? Right?
It's personality. Because for me,
It
I
is.
enjoy
It
the
is.
quality time. Like I take pride in like dropping the kids off of school, picking them up, and the school bus can
Oh,
easily do
and then
that.
it is a personality.
The
That's
school
what I was
bus
going to
can easily
say.
do
Like,
that, but I'm like, no, I want to be the one. And you can ask my husband. We both go in the morning to drop them off, and then if he's not on a meeting, we are both picking them up. Because I just want to be there.
That's important
I just want
to
to,
you.
like,
Yeah.
I want to sit in the car with them, just learn about their day. It just gives me so
I
much
think
joy.
that's okay. That's
You
good.
know what I'm saying?
And
And
you know what's crazy about children
It's a schedule too. So if you
Yeah.
have a 9 to 5 where 9 o'clock you have,
have
to
to be
like
at the
be
clock.
on a meeting or something,
Yeah.
it changes the
Yeah.
dynamic. So it's your schedule and then it's your personality too. Because I feel like if I can, like, we drop our kids off at the bus stop, I make sure that she gets into the bus or my husband will drop them off. But it's like at the end of the day, I also need to go back to my work, right?
Yeah.
It's like there has to be balance somewhere,
Yeah.
but it's your schedule. You're
Yeah.
available at
That's
that time.
Crazy, but you know what's crazy about children? You know what's great about children? I can tell you, I drop off my kids. We drop off our kids. There's no bus that goes to their school.
Oh.
So guess what? They sit and they daydream about being on the bus one day. Like to them, a bus ride is like they can't wait till they be on the bus.
Yeah. That's so true
You
because
just
my
can't.
son, when he was in the in this private school, they didn't have a bus. We used to.
Yeah.
He could not wait to go
Yeah,
to school
my
with
kids-
his sister so he can get
He
on the
can
school
be on the
bus.
bus. My kids, they go to the private school and they've never been in a bus. So, oh my gosh, they like, oh, Easy gets to go on a bus?
That's so cool.
Like, wow. So, it might be a priority for you. You might think
Yeah,
I'm being
yeah.
the best parent.
Yeah.
But they're like, oh, mom is taking us. We're going to have to, oh, mom is so embarrassing. She's trying to kiss me. But at the same time, though, don't let go of that. That's important
Yeah,
to
I think
you.
that's what's
Yeah.
I think we all talked about having them, go to school, like blah blah blah. But I read a book, Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yeah,
I've read that.
And it talks about the opposite. It's like we are taught to go to school, and then do well. But
I've heard of
going to school doesn't necessarily make you do well in life. So it's like
Yeah.
school doesn't. So he talks about it. He takes it from a different perspective where we need to teach the kids how to do business because that's where the money is. So that he's not going to work. Because when you go to school you end up working for somebody. But then when we start to teach them, and I was like,
Entrepreneurship.
entrepreneurship at the very early stages, it's great. I was like, this is a whole new perspective because we were all raised, and as we were
Raised.
saying, that's how we were thinking. Like, let's the kids go to school. Like we advise our kids to go, but is that successful?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I read that book too, and it kind of like changed my perspective. But you know how you read a book and then it
You
changes your
see it
perspective
and
for
then
a
you
little
go
bit.
back, and then you revert.
No, but I think for me, I'll do both, right?
Yeah.
Even if I'll do both, like I will still let them. I can't say, oh, don't get a college degree because I want you to do business. I don't know how that sits with me, right?
Yeah.
So I'll still encourage them to go to school and then maybe learn how to educate them, like on the financial aspect.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree.
What do you think? Because you said business. You're the business person. What do you think about that?
That's actually the accounting girl.
So being that my dad is a business owner, it was always just like back in his time, it was okay if you didn't have a college degree. You would still you would learn a trade, and it seems like they're trying to bring that back.
They are?
But they're also, they're trying to bring that back. But it'll be interesting seeing how that evolves. But basically, he got his entrepreneurship from his dad. So it was kind of like a generational trait, would you say? So then it trickled down to, I thought about marketing also. I forgot about that. Thought about marketing, but then it was kind of one of those situations where I was just like, I feel like marketing is a little too targeted for what I like doing. I like doing different things, learning different things. I'm always like wanting to learn new stuff. I always want to like educate myself on things that are happening, even if I'm not like applying it in school or my career. But it started off like that, and then it evolved to, okay, my mom's an accountant. Let me take a stab at accounting. And I went in as an accounting major, and then I changed my mind just to the fact that I kind of want to evolve more into the business aspect of things. And I just like the fact that you always have something new that you can learn to do with business. Very versatile. Industries change, come and go, new industries that you just want to dive into. Yeah. And it gave me that opportunity to do that.
Do you, coming back to Sandra's question, do you feel like you want your kids? Do you want your kids, do you want your kids to go into
I would be
business?
okay if my kids didn't. get a degree, but I would prefer them to have a degree, definitely, because I don't know. Just being that you're African American, you have to have something that elevates you above the rest. And I feel like that would be your best avenue to do it. But then again, if you're gifted you just have a niche for business and you just go straight in and hustle and do what you need to do to make yourself stand out. I'm all for that too. My brother, he didn't even want to go to school. He tried it, didn't like it, but he eventually he even became like almost apprentice level barber. So he was really good at it. But then he became a creative. He went to school, got his degree, advertising, and became a creative. And yeah. And we were still okay with it. I was okay with it. My mom was okay with it. He still had a passion for learning new things. So we just wanted him to express himself. So I'm okay with it.
So are we encouraging our kids on any career paths?
I think for me, whatever their passion is.
Yeah, for me too. Whatever their passion is. But I have this one kid keep talking about wanting to play
Soccer?
But they get money
Basketball?
though.
football.
But they get money. Those
That's
I mean, nothing
Robert.
against football.
They get
You know,
a lot of
At
money.
least you have to go to school.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I think he doesn't understand. Don't you have to go to school, get
Scholarships and all that.
Yeah, you do.
Well, yeah,
I think you should
I have to.
You should show him examples of
Yeah.
football players or whatever the sport that he's
Yeah,
into.
but you have to get drafted.
who have
and
like
You have to get drafted.
who have like good career, like who have degrees and how it's helped them to elevate their game, because
Yeah.
you don't just play on the field, you also have to have the business aspects of how you're going to sell yourself and make more money and all of that, and what are you going to do with that money once you have it.
But they make a lot of money though.
He's talking about.
Yeah, they make a lot of money.
They make a lot of money. He talks about becoming a football player, buying a big house so all of us can live in. Nobody's going anywhere.
Yeah,
We're gonna get.
I like that.
and that's doable.
But you still have to go to school.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you don't want people to take advantage of you
Exactly.
either.
I mean, I said,
It's all that
because I
money.
told
Yeah.
him you need to be able to sign that contract, right? And
Right,
before
right.
you do that,
Read
you
the
have to
contract.
read it.
Yeah.
Well, so in that book, right, the man, the rich dad was uneducated, but he talks about even if he cannot read, because he makes a lot of money, he will hire lawyers.
Yeah. That's a
But yeah, so he can hire lawyers even if he cannot read. Yeah, but yeah, you're right. Get the degree and then. But I think that's great. You can encourage it because they make money. Like
Oh, yeah, they do make money, but
These
yeah.
even these soccer players.
But which career paths are your kids going towards?
Whatever they want to do.
Nothing in particular yet.
It keeps changing.
It keeps.
It keeps changing.
And
Like
I'm biased in that sense because I want more healthcare related stuff.
That's what I'm trying to get.
yeah.
Because
Yeah, I'm very biased in that sense.
you do advocate for
Yeah,
for
because
healthcare.
I feel like it's more stable.
it is stable.
For lack of
It
better
is.
words, actually, I think it's just more stable. You always have a job to go to, but my other one wants to go into business, and I think that's very phenomenal too. Because I like business. I
Yeah,
like
business is good.
So
Savannah, she wants to be
ultimately
interior
it's up to them.
designer. So
Oh, she does.
yeah,
Oh, that's cool. And she's been
creative.
consistent with that because.
yeah, she's real creative.
Oh, that's
But
good.
of course, math.
You
She's
need
good at math,
You need
but
math for that.
she needs to be consistent in math.
You need math for.
It's a lot of measuring and dimensions. Make sure you're not buying
What
things
about
that are
you?
too
Any
big or
career
small.
path that you want to encourage?
That sort of thing.
Me, at first, when I first thought about that, I was like, I'm going to encourage one of my kids to go for be a pilot. But then, I definitely did not last long. It was just a thought up in my head somewhere.
Oh, but
what
one
changed
of
that
my
thought?
kids wants to be a pilot though. He's been saying
yeah,
yeah.
so
He's been
that's
saying it for a
cool.
long
that's
time.
good. That's
No,
My
because he
nephew
loves
wants to do
planes.
that.
Yeah.
Actually.
Oh really?
Yeah.
He loves planes, and then like he's He's just like obsessed.
Yeah, no, but
He's little, so we'll see how it goes.
yeah,
Yeah.
but now I'm more so more interested about who they are and what they'd be good at.
Right.
So like it changes. Like I think it changes right now between like healthcare and like Maddie wants to be a psychologist, like a psychologist, and then she also wants to be a teacher one day. But because she's very nurturing and like
Yeah.
so I
But then they
see it.
start with teachers though. At some point, everybody wants to be a teacher. Then they
My
change.
goodness, even my other daughter wanted to be a teacher. I was like, oh no. I was like, I'll see this one. It might change soon, please.
But they need some good teachers, though.
We do.
The only problem is the pay.
It's just
Yeah,
That's the only
Yeah.
problem. I mean, if you're a
Okay.
teacher and then you have a side hustle, that's good. But yeah, the only problem with teaching is the pay.
Yeah.
My kids, they're like a variety. So the first one wants to be an athlete, a football player. The second one, she wants to be a cardiologist, which I love. I'm like, okay. And then the third one wants to be a businessman. And then the last one, he keeps saying, I want to be a gymnast. On some C-Mobile stuff. So it's like a variety of everything. And I'm kind of loving it, but I think they're going to evolve out of it. But whatever,
Yeah, 'cause they
I'm just
keep
here to support, I
changing.
feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going to support them. But, I'm just biased with the healthcare thing. But ultimately, it's going to be up to them. Whatever they love, whatever they fall in love with is what I'm going to go with, really.
I just saw them get like the highest degree possible. The highest degree possible. I'm like, yeah, you can do whatever. Like you can be in whatever field. It keeps changing, right? But
And
whatever.
most importantly, just make sure you succeed in it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I don't want you running back to me.
Yeah, and then you love what you do because I think that's the ultimate.
Yeah.
See, that's the
That's
thing
for
about
me, trying to figure them out.
the passion and the goals. It's like if you keep thinking when you do that, you find happiness like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it makes you happy.
Yeah, and that's why for me, I always look at what are their strengths.
Right.
What are their strengths? What could I help highlight to them that they can actually make a living out of that?
Right.
And that's more so. I'm not that African parent that would be like, oh no, you gotta be a doctor. Gotta be a doctor. But I'll be like, okay, but if I do see that you're a nurturing person and you're caring and you have and also your academics match that, then I would definitely encourage you to do that. I'm loving
Beautiful
how
ladies.
I'm loving how I'm learning so much about you in such a unique way.
Oh, about me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like yeah. All right, ladies.
One thing, I'm just laid back.
Yes. Go with the flow. What
Go
you
with
say?
the flow, honey.
It will be.
What will be?
What will be? Will be.
Wait, don't they have a kiss the rock? Kiss
They
the
do.
rock?
Yeah. Yeah.
right.
Because I feel like time changes. I read this book, this fellow, and I keep saying doctor, because I just read like some medical books. He went all the way up to be a surgeon, and now he said that's like the biggest mistake he ever made. You know what I'm saying? So
That's because it wasn't his passion to
Exactly,
begin with. Maybe he was trying to please his parents.
parents,
But then those who have their passion,
Yeah. It drives them. It
So I feel
drives
like
you.
wherever, it really doesn't matter wherever I'm gonna be at, I better be happy with it.
right? As long as you're happy.
Yeah. It was such a pleasure having all of you here today. That was such great inputs. I really enjoyed it. I'm learning so much from everybody.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
interesting.
I'm really enjoying this podcast actually.
Cool getting
Yeah,
to know
same
you
here.
in different ways.
All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.